These are so good. Oh, yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Wide Juice coming in with a review of the $150 All City 12s. This is Way of Wade's newest All City line shoe, and it's pretty good. So let's just get right into the review. All right, so you guys already know how this works. We're going to talk about what I like the most about the shoe and work our way down to what I like the least about the shoe. And starting off at the number one spot, my favorite part of the shoe was the materials. The shoe feels extremely premium all around. There is no weaknesses in any of the shoe's materials, and everything feels like it was really intentionally used. And there was also a very minimal break-in time for the materials or the upper materials of the shoe. And my only small complaint about the shoes materials are the tongue could have been a little bit more thicker. However, I was able to crank the laces due to the eyelet lacing system without hurting the top of my feet. Also, the upper materials, whatever this weave is extremely good at containing your foot. And also, it has amazing breathability as well. So you kind of get everything you need. This shoe just every part of the shoe feels premium. And also there is a double shank plate in the shoe. There are a few other companies that are taking shank plates out of their shoes, but Way of Wade is pretty much doing the opposite. They're saying we're doubling down, and the shoe's just great. Yeah, I'm going to say that the materials are a 9.7 out of 10. If you're going to be only able to pick up one pair of shoes for your whole basketball season, these are definitely the shoes I would recommend because the shoe's performance and durability is just extremely good, and it feels like a complete package in the hand. So yeah, just amazing materials. All right, so moving into my second most favorite part of the shoe, it's definitely going to be the traction, which was a huge step up from the All City 11 V2s. The 12s have tough rubber, which is good for all types of courts. If you're playing outdoor, these are definitely going to be durable enough. And if you're playing indoor, you don't have to sacrifice performance for durability. Basically, the traction is so good because it is just stop on a dime traction as well as being extremely durable. In the past, I had said that the best traction pattern I have ever used was on the KD 15s, with my one criticism being the durability on these shoes. And these shoes are almost as good traction wise as those, but they are more durable, and the dust collection on these All City 12s is very, very minimal. So it's just a really, really complete package. I'm going to give the traction a 9.6 out of 10. Again, if you're playing outdoor, if you're playing indoor, really any court you throw at the shoe will be fine. It will perform well, and dust collection will be just very minimal. You barely have to wipe these, and that's about it. All right, so now we're going to talk about my third most favorite part of the shoe, and it's definitely going to be the lockdown and the stability of the shoe. I'm going to give the lockdown and stability a 9.5 out of 10. This shoe is very, very good at containing your foot. This kind of lemon that I call it, I actually felt this in a good way while playing. And this kind of ridge here, the materials here that come over, that actually does work in containing your foot when you're making these, kind of diagonal cuts. I'm 200 pounds, 6 feet tall. So when I do cut in a shoe that doesn't have amazing lockdown or stability, that's the first, I guess, weakness of the shoe. And I felt very safe playing in these, especially coming off of a broken ankle that happened about 4 months ago. I always play a little bit scared, but in these I was kind of able to break that fear that I have. I would say that the lockdown works so well because the materials that they use in the weave is flexible yet just stiff enough to really kind of contour to your foot over time without becoming loose over time. So basically, because of the materials of the upper being a weave and being very durable, the shoe gives you a one-to-one fit while also really holding you in there. So I just have to really praise Way of Wade. This is the only shoe I've worn probably in the past year where I haven't had to think in the back of my mind, like, what happens if I roll my ankle or what happens if I turn too hard, because I was just locked into this shoe and I was not rolling ankles. I was not unstable. I just felt safe the whole way through. And that's why that's the third favorite part of the shoe. All right, now moving into my last most favorite part of the shoe, it's definitely going to be the cushioning. I'm going to give the cushioning a 9 out of 10. You can definitely feel the full length boom midsole the most in this shoe compared to previous models. I think that the cushioning does the perfect balance of firmness, softness, like the shoe's responsive, but you're still protected. And the only complaint that I have, which is a minor one, is that my toes are very low to the ground and the shock absorption is good and the cushioning is good, but my heel is ever so slightly raised. And that does help me as a heel striker. I play on my heels. Like when I slam my heels into the ground in this shoe, I am protected. But having my heel raised up like that does make the heel to toe transition for me a little bit clunky. And that was only just ever so slightly in the back of my mind. But that being said, I was able to play in this shoe for about 2 hours, 3 times a week with no hip pain, no knee pain, no foot pain. So the shoe does a really, really good job of protecting you, even if you are heavier. I'm 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. So I'm definitely on the bigger side. And I do tend to have to come off the court when I'm wearing other shoes because of just joint pain. Like I'm a little bit heavy. Cardio is a little bit hard for me. So not having to do that or not having to worry about this in this shoe makes the shoe just really, really good overall. It's a good performer. You can practice for many hours in it. You can play multiple pickup games in it. You can play outdoors in it. The cushioning just is kind of the nice little ribbon that ties the whole shoe together. You really can get a lot of hours in this shoe without having to worry about having the repercussions of playing basketball for multiple hours. All right, so now let's get into my least favorite part of the shoe, or really the one element of the shoe that I will kind of warn against. So just to reiterate, this shoe is the complete package. When you think of a basketball shoe, this is the answer. Everything about the shoe, materials being durable, yet being able to perform well, traction being good indoor, outdoor, and durable enough to play a whole season of basketball in, fit and lockdown, no worries about rolling an ankle in these, feeling really stable, cushioning being the perfect level of off the ground and close to the ground, dense but responsive and still protecting the joints. Like this shoe is very complete. But the one downside I have of this shoe is the fit. The shoe is getting a little bit narrower with each iteration of the line. So for example, the All City 11s super wide, All City 11 V2s a little bit more narrow, and now the All City 12s are the most narrow. And if you guys didn't know, the shoe's name is Wide Shoes. So as a wide footer, I'm like, stop. Like, okay, it is sometimes hard for wide footers to get shoes for them because when a company makes a shoe too wide, the lockdown suffers. However, this is supposed to be their line for wide footers, or the most wide footer line. And I just felt very well taken care of in the past getting an All City shoe, but I'm going to have to tell people for the first time ever in the All City line to go up half a size. Usually with the All City line, I go true to size and it's perfect. I went true to size now and I just get away with it. But if I play basketball in these shoes and then maybe I go out and watch a movie or I go to dinner or whatever I do after, I will I'll be like, ow, my foot's cramping up. So the one downside of the shoe is that the shoe line is getting more narrow. And I would say to Way of Wade, this is the most narrow you should go for this line. Anything beyond this, and people are going to have to start half size upping, and it's just not going to be the most comfortable ride. I personally really like a 1-to-1 fit. I don't like to have any heel slippage when I play. And if I went up half a size, I think I would still not really experience heel slippage. And I did get away with going true to size, but I'm just a little bit concerned if the next shoe gets even more narrow, then I'm just going to have to go up and I won't like that. All right, so let's get into my final thoughts. I'm going to give the All City 12s a 96 out of 100. I think that is the highest ranking I've ever given a shoe, and it's pretty much well deserved. I really cannot imagine a scenario where I would not recommend these shoes. If you need a shoe you can play outdoors in, grab these. They perform great and they're durable. If you need a shoe that you can play indoors with and your main focus is performance, you can grab these. If you can only afford one shoe for a whole season of basketball or for a whole year, grab these because they're super durable and perform well. If you've got wide feet, buy these. There's just really no reason to not try these. And I know that when I recommend Way of Wade shoes, I let my audience take a little bit of a risk. And that's just because you have to return the All City shoes unworn. So when you buy a Nike shoe, for example, you can play in that shoe for up to 60 days and return it and get a full refund. So I can tell you, hey, just go try it. If you don't like it, return it. But with the Way of Wade, I can't recommend that. But again, as I'm saying, this is one of the best shoes I've reviewed. It's just so consistent. It's so good in all fields that I don't really see anyone having a reason to return them. And for those of you wondering, really any position in basketball, center, power forward, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, anyone can wear these and they'll work for them. I think that they're kind of just made for everyone. And I'm gonna say this is probably the best shoe I've reviewed. It's the most complete, and Way of Wade is slowly swaying me that they might be the best basketball shoe company right now. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next review. Thank you for trusting me with your basketball shoe reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.